Brand diversity and globality, the trademarks of the Volkswagen Group today. Under this umbrella, the group brings together the technological knowledge deployed by the brands to realize their individual mobility concepts. The transfer of know-how within the group creates synergies and speeds up innovation, as illustrated by the growing number of standardized vehicle modules used by more than one brand. The group's vehicles are built in lean plants, integrated in a global production and supply alliance, with sites in Europe, North and South America, Asia and Africa. Long before globalization became a buzzword, the Wolfsburg-based company had already set up an international production and sales network. The foundations were laid in the early post-war years, at a time when the Volkswagen Works brought the hope of a new beginning for many people. June 1945, the British military government has taken over the administration of the Volkswagen Works, a stroke of luck for the employees and for a region with little industry. The British are in urgent need of civilian vehicles to meet their increased transport needs during the occupation period. Without further ado, they reinstate Volkswagen production and save the plant from threatened dismantling. Thanks to the resourceful support of Major Ivan Hurst, production of the sedan, developed by Ferdinand Porsche, begins in December 1945. As post-war Germany reintegrates in the Western world, series production of the Volkswagen sedan, merely a propaganda stunt under the National Socialists, becomes reality. Under the British administration, which appoints Hermann Münch as General Director in 1946, the armaments ruin of National Socialism is transformed into a civilian automobile manufacturer, with a democratically elected Works Council, a sales and customer service organization, and an effective quality control system. The Volkswagen Works wins its first export order for the Netherlands in 1947 as the British government seeks to replenish its depleted currency reserves. 2 years later, the company is exporting almost 1/5 of production to 7 European countries. By the time the British turn over the Volkswagen Works to the trusteeship of the federal German government on October 8, 1949, the foundation for the international success of the Volkswagen brand has been laid. The race for customers and markets begins. The age of the Beetle dawns. With a 30-horsepower rear engine, the Beetle gets the West German economy moving. And the Transporter, launched in 1950, comes at exactly the right time to carry the load of post-war reconstruction. The diminutive economic powerhouse from Wolfsburg soon goes into large-scale production. By installing special machinery and automated assembly lines, General Director Heinrich Nordhoff pushes ahead with automation. Production gathers speed, with record-breaking production figures year after year. By the mid-50s, the plant on the Mittelland Canal in Wolfsburg is already bursting at the seams. Volkswagen begins the partial relocation of production. The Transporter moves to the new plant in Hanover. Gearbox production is transferred to the Kassel plant. In 1960, the Volkswagen workforce builds 890,000 vehicles, 10 times as many as in 1950 and quite a bit faster. Success pays for the workforce too. Good wages and welfare benefits are a trademark of labour relations in the Volkswagen Works. The publicly owned company had become a symbol of the German economic miracle long before it is turned into a joint stock company in 1960. On the roads of the Bonn Republic, the Beetle sets the tone and rouses West Germans from their deep automobile slumbers. The dream of a people's car, a dream that had inspired German automobile engineers since the beginning of the 20th century, finally comes true. the Beetle carries its travel-hungry passengers into the age of consumer democracy. Across the Alps, en route to Italy, German drivers come to appreciate the benefits of the Beetle's air-cooled engine. Volkswagen sets its sights on world markets as early as 1950. The robust and economical Beetle is given a warm welcome all over the world. The VW customer service network, with its excellent organization, is the icing on the cake, consolidating the sedan's reputation for reliability. Exports become the motor for growth, driving the internationalization of Volkswagen forward. By 1964, the company has subsidiaries in Canada, Brazil, the USA, South Africa, Australia and Mexico. The Emden plant begins assembling Beetles at the end of 1964, mainly to supply the largest export market. In the United States, the pioneering compact vehicle has already become a cult car, a legend on wheels. The Beetle advertising campaign, born in the USA, was instrumental in creating the legend. These bright ideas are exported to Germany, producing many a classic ad in the process.
Jahre der Entwicklung und Forschung, Jahre der Erfahrung von 7 Millionen Besitzern in der ganzen Welt machten viele Eigenschaften des Volkswagens berühmt. Aber die allerwichtigste ist, dass dieser Wagen läuft und läuft und läuft und läuft und läuft und läuft.
The end of the 1960s sees the Volkswagen Group in transition. Technological progress overtakes the Beetle, and even its air-cooled brand siblings can no longer keep up with the times. The brand with the 4 rings, on the other hand, which the Wolfsburg-based company acquired in 1965, radiates modernity. With Audi, which was merged with NSU in 1969, Volkswagen becomes a 2-brand group. This marks a milestone on the road to the future.
Das ist der neue VW K70. Oma liebt ihn, weil er so komfortabel ist. Mami liebt ihn, weil er so sicher ist. Große Jungs lieben ihn, weil er so fortschrittlich ist. Und kleine Mädchen, weil er so viel Platz für Spielzeug hat. Und für sämtliche Freunde. Und wenn Sie wissen wollen, warum Papi ihn liebt, dann müssen Sie jetzt mal genau hinhören. Der neue VW K70. Das Auto, das alle glücklich macht.
The K70, developed by NSU, makes history as the first joint product of the young brand group, and the first Volkswagen with front-wheel drive and a water-cooled engine. Built at the new Salzgitter plant, the K70 heralds a new Volkswagen generation. The Passat is launched in 1973 and is followed by the Scirocco, Golf and Polo. The gentle model revolution is a success. The Beetle bows out of the international stage and the customer takes the limelight. From now on, it is the customer's individual wishes that reign supreme in the markets of the world's automotive strongholds. And the customer likes what he sees. The modern Volkswagen fleet steers the company out of crisis and into the colourful diversity of the 1970s, led by the Golf, which breaks all sales records in 1976.
999.998, 999.999, 1 Million. 1 Million in 31 Monaten. Damit ist der Golf der schnellste Millionär Europas. Kein Wunder bei dem Auto. Golf, der Kompaktwagen von Volkswagen.
It's almost as if the Beetle has been reborn in contemporary form. When Volkswagen becomes Europe's leading automaker in 1985, almost every third vehicle built by the group is a Golf. But the new people's car isn't popular with people all over the world. In the USA, the most important export market in the 80s, demand for the Golf is well below expectations. Golf production in Pennsylvania is shut down in 1988. The synergies of the brand alliance have gone into the new Volkswagen generation. Audi models were the blueprint for the Passat and Polo, so that the same parts could be used for different models with essentially the same technology. The unit construction system heralds the transition to a modern production concept. Volkswagen backs microelectronics technology and opens the door to an almost deserted production world. In 1983, the auto industry's first fully automated assembly line goes into operation in Hall 54. An ambivalent advance in technology, since the cost-intensive use of industrial robots and multi-purpose machines is geared to large-scale standard production with only a modest increase in flexibility. But the strategy pays off for a few years. The Golf continues to sell well. Under Karl Hahn, the Volkswagen Group sets its sights on growth. Hahn builds new production facilities in China and Eastern Central Europe, ensuring that the group makes an early entry into the markets of the future. The Santana becomes the pioneer of automobility in China, and Shanghai Volkswagen becomes China's largest passenger car producing plant. At the same time, Volkswagen seizes the opportunities for expanding in Europe. In 1986, SEAT, the Spanish brand, finds a new home in the VW Group. When the markets in Eastern Europe open up, the Czech automaker Škoda joins the brand alliance. The severe crisis in 1993 accelerates globalization of the VW Group. Under Ferdinand Piech's chairmanship, the Global Production Alliance is reorganized. Step by step, the modernity gap between plants in Germany and abroad is closed. The traditional division of labor between the center and the periphery disappears. Today, several of the group's models destined for world markets are manufactured exclusively at international sites, with a high efficiency and quality standard. The Touareg is built in Slovakia, the Caddy in Poland, the Audi TT in Hungary, the Jetta in Mexico, and the Fox in Brazil. The new structure goes hand in hand with the modernization of the production system. Production processes become leaner thanks to flat hierarchies, teamwork and networking with suppliers. Nowadays, complete modules rather than individual components are delivered just in time. Many of these modules come from the group's own production facilities. Engines are supplied from Salzgitter, chassis and axles from Brunswick, gearboxes and powertrains from Kassel.
Volkswagen.